How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Third Touch Soccer Podcast. My name's Sam Leamy. I'm here with Connor Walsh and Michael McLaughlin. What's going on,
What's
lads?
up?
Not a whole lot down here in beautiful Orlando.
Yeah, we're coming. Well, not live, but we're doing a recording down here in Orlando FC. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about. Big game tonight in a few hours. Orlando FC home opener, brand new stadium against the Sky Blues, NYCFC, Man City, Yankees owned. Looking forward to this one, Mike.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped.
So
I mean, I'm in Brooklyn, so I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch the game.
you should be
I'm
here.
pumped for you guys.
Why didn't you come down?
Well, you did one. You never invited me. And I never once
true.
was even a thought to invite me. It wasn't like, Mike, you
Yeah.
want to come? You talk about it on the podcast. I think you ordered your plane tickets on the podcast.
Sorry about that, buddy. We miss you.
It's all right. Whatever. I actually probably could have came. I could have taken yesterday off of work or tomorrow off of work.
We would have loved
Get down
that.
there.
We would have loved it if you were down here.
I'm jealous of you. You guys look really happy. So
Yeah, I mean, they
annoying.
say the sun makes you happy, but we've got a lot on the show today. I mean, we're gonna talk about Orlando, New York City FC in a bit. Opening weekend MLS season, Man United, putting a terrible performance again yesterday. Big Pulisic in the news as well across the across the border. Michael brings some updates a little bit about that later.
Know that.
And then the She Believes Cup is going on right now with the 4 highest ranked teams, national teams in the world. No Hope Solo. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Women's teams.
It is the women's teams, yeah. You like women's soccer, right? You're into that.
I do like women's soccer. Yeah. What are you trying to say, dude?
I mean, I haven't
don't
said
put me
anything.
there.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about it in a bit.
I know that she believes, but do you guys believe?
Yeah, he believes. He hates. All right. What else? What else we talking about?
So Mike, we went out last night. Some things happened.
A lot of things have happened in the great city of Orlando in the 12 hours we've been here, or less than.
Are you guys gonna move to Orlando now?
Probably. We've been welcomed with open arms.
Yeah, we're right in the heart of the city. We're downtown here, and we met these. I gained a really strong bond with Mexicans yesterday.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
did. We spent the entire evening with these group of guys that drove down from Yonkers for the match because we got an email. So we're sitting in the away end with the New York City FC supporters. So because of that, we were sent an email with like a itinerary of things to do. So last night at 9 p.m. at this one bar in downtown Orlando, there was more or less a meetup for traveling fans, which was actually a lot of fun. There was probably 20, 30 people there that were supporting the club. And we ended up just talking to everyone. We said we weren't doing any shots. That was the first thing we said.
First thing was we were like, right, we're gonna take it easy. Straight to the airport. We hit the piss. Just hit the piss straight away at the airport. Watch the Arsenal Liverpool game. Get on the airport. Get in the airplane. Hit the piss again. Get to the hotel. Check in. We just grab a bottle of wine, charge it to the room straight away, up to the room, and we're like, okay, Connor, we're feeling good right now. And we're just not going to do shots all night. Go to this bar, the meetup bar, the NYCFC bar. Ended up buying the whole bar shots, straight away.
Anyone that had any color of blue on got a shot. So like 20 shots off the bat, $200. Charge it to the room.
I don't even remember eating. I wasn't that drunk, but I was just too busy taking shots.
And talking and socializing. It was great. It was so much fun. But yeah, we ran into these Hispanic dudes and we chilled with them the whole night. And they invited us to like their compound out in the hills to pregame with them, but we didn't go. We had the episode, and we thought about doing the episode from there because the one dude was so bad at like the leader of the Hispanics, the boss.
El Chapo.
Their boss.
The boss was like, "Yo, I want to be on."
Did they bring you back to him, and he was just like sitting with his legs crossed? And
Well, no, those are the guys we fucked with first, and then we met these guys from Athens, New York, like 20 minutes down. And then we started talking about our soccer league, and they were like, "Yeah, fuck Afrims," and
Jeez, all right.
What?
No, just getting mad local. All right, come on.
Yeah, and then we kind of left the bar 5 shots deep, and then we went to this other place, and we met up with the same Mexicans, and then we just fucked with them for like hours.
Dude, so I don't know if it was the club or with the Orlando City fans did a pub crawl throughout downtown. And dude, I've never seen anything like it as far as like club support. It was one of the coolest things. Every single bar had an Orlando City flag. Like the little stands they put outside of the bars, like the
Yeah.
chalkboards, whatever. Everything had something about the soccer game. Everyone had jerseys on, dude.
all start like bartenders were wearing
Yeah,
jerseys.
every bartender
Really?
we saw had a jersey on or a shirt on. It was so cool. And they threw like this block party downtown basically for the match. DJ, outdoor bars, and your boy made the decision to. Sam was like waiting for a drink, and he was like, "Yo, go make me a drink, bro." So I was like, "All right." Just walk behind the bar. He's like, "I want a vodka Red Bull." Grab the last Red Bull behind the bar. No bartenders have noticed me at this point. I'm just doing my thing. Make Sam the drink. I got caught and was immediately escorted away by the police. And I was thrown out of the block party and just went in a different entrance. But
So,
dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, he was all fired up, and he called me. He was like, I got kicked out. I was like, yeah, I saw you get kicked out. And I just came out, met him in the street. He's like dancing in the street. I was like, let's just go through this other entrance because they're all connected. And we just like walked in. He got another wristband, and then we just sat at the bar and grabbed a drink.
Same bar?
Same bar.
Yeah, it's great. But so listen to this. So everyone I saw, we didn't have any. A lot of guys had New York City FC stuff on that were out and about. And then, like I said, so many people had Orlando stuff on. So every Orlando person I saw, not everyone, but the majority of them, I'd be like, "Yo, New York City FC," like just trying to start some banter, just like trying to like talk some nonsense. And one dude legitimately wanted to fight me, like this 45-year-old like fat dude wanted to throw hands at me because I was like, "Yo," like it was kind of like he got kind of heated. We were just like chatting piss, and it was great, dude. Like it was sick. And then he wanted to throw hands at me. We didn't, but if I see him today outside the stadium, it might be down to rumble. Get active.
Just give him a handshake and Wait, what fan was he? Orlando fan?
Orlando fan, yeah. They all had jerseys on. Like
Hooliganism.
Group of 3 guys, yeah. Make
Guys,
America
you
violent.
Do sound like you did like a hooligan schedule of life that day. Like drinking at the airport, drinking at the next airport, drinking at the hotel room, bartending, and then fight.
Yeah, I mean, like Connor said just a minute ago, I mean, because we got tickets through NYCFC, through their supporters group, and they've been emailing me non-stop this past few days and just giving like the itinerary, like these are the bars to go to, these are the bars to avoid. And apparently we're going to meet 20 minutes, an hour and a half before the game.
We're supposed to be at the stadium at 3:30 for 5 o'clock kickoff to be escorted in by police, which is like something that you would see in Europe. And, this isn't Fenerbahce Galatasaray, but the thing is, and I was just doing
Connor, you excited about that, aren't you?
Oh, I'm so pumped. I've never been
I think
more...
it's so ridiculous. It's like they're creating rules and people are it's just going to fire people up. It's not Celtic Rangers. It's not, the Istanbul derby. It's not, people aren't getting stabbed here.
The thing is, though, and I was just doing some research in preparation for the episode about violence in the MLS and if it really exists between fans. And it really doesn't, which is, it's a good thing. But New York City FC have a history. I think we all saw the video of the Red Bulls violence outside the bars in Harrison. It's pretty wild, actually. But then there was also an incident in the Open Cup last year. They played the Cosmos with violence before the game. So maybe it's just because New York City FC have this somewhat of a reputation. But like Sam said, putting these rules in place and doing it this way, it just creates the illusion that there could be violence, which could create violence, as opposed to us just walking in the stadium.
I mean, there's going to be NYCFC fans amongst the Orlando fans because half of Florida is full of New Yorkers.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, he's right. Like, there's nobody really even like caring a lot. It takes a while to care about a team, man. It takes almost generations. So to like kind of like, it's so funny. It is kind of like, are they manipulating us? Like, let's have police and all this, an escort, and it makes it kind of feel more divisive than it is.
Yeah, this is the email I got from Andy Drellick from the Third Rail. A couple of things to know. We need to meet outside the Amway Center Pro Shop on South Huey Ave at 3:20 p.m. We will then be escorted into the stadium. They want us to be in our seats by 4:15. Next bullet point.
What time's kickoff?
5.
Okay.
And it's going to be later. It's live on ESPN, right? Yeah. So, it's going to be delayed another 10, 15 minutes. And then next bullet point, we will be asked to stay in our seats for at least 20 minutes after the match ends, then escorted down Church Street. Next bullet point, no banners allowed in the stadium, but flags, poles, and drums are allowed. And I worked at Southampton numerous games, and I did their away section. The only fans that we kept in the stadium after the game were Portsmouth fans. And it was when Portsmouth weren't in the Premier League, they were coming up to the Premier League, and it was a League Cup game, and it was like 7:45 on a Tuesday. And it was the first time they played in, I think, like 10 or 11 years. And normally with, big rivals like that, they'd like to put the games, an early kickoff so the fans don't have the chance to drink all day. So I just remember doing the game, and Southampton won the game 2-0, and all the Portsmouth fans were like really pissed off, and we're blocking the exit. So we had all these fans like throwing like mobile phones, coins, spitting on us, and the police were behind us with the riot gear, and there was some shit that happened outside. So they all went outside, and then we were just like, fuck this. We're getting paid, I think, £6 an hour at the time. It was something like £8 an hour. So we run outside. There's a bunch of fights outside. This kid, he must have been like 12, 13 years old, skinhead, just punches me in the stomach. No reason. Just punched me in the stomach. And then my friend who was next to me, because we were running, he just starts laughing. I was like, well, that's not nice. Yeah.
Did he say anything?
No, the guy just punched me and just carried on running. He was just throwing fists.
What's the thing cricket pitchers say when they pitch?
What?
How's that? What is it?
Oh, right. How's that? Yeah, it was ridiculous. I didn't want to get in the fight with the kid. He was so young, but he was really hard.
Like, what are you doing, kid?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, hooliganism. They kind of want to fire up all these fans by doing this. Do you think?
Well, because if you could get violence going, or you could get like the thought of violence, it gets more interest in it. People pay attention. You get a viral video, and then you get people that.
I mean, I hope
like intense. I'm gonna check it out.
I hope it kicks off today, man. I've been praying for a fight, so we'll see what happens.
But it can change people's lives. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was Leeds United fans in the Champions League 12, 13 years ago. Two of the fans, died.
Away at Galatasaray, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's nothing to joke about, but I'm excited to see how this plays out today.
You gotta watch this kid tonight, dude. This is gonna go you can't get a fight tonight. You're part of a professional podcast.
No, I'm not fighting. I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm excited to see how it pops off, and I know Sam probably is too, but this stadium looks like it's gonna be pretty amazing. The way they've built it, and they really have a lot of respect for the fans, and they built this whole terraced away end, like basically Dortmund's wall of safe standing, the whole thing.
That's gorgeous, by the way. I love that.
Yeah, there's a designated smoke device area. It's safe standing. They have a stand for the guys that fire up the crowd. They direct the crowd. They have a built-in stand for them. So the whole thing was built with the fans in mind, and I just. That's great because in contrast,
that is pretty cool.
In contrast,
that hold up though, that right there, that I know Seattle has one, I know Portland has it. Sam, how do you feel about these fan composers that like stand in front of the fans and get them all riled up? And
does that happen in other American sports?
I've never seen it. I mean, it happens naturally. There's always some drunk guy. Let's get fucking going. Like he stands. Come on, get up, dude. We're waving, bro. That was at Fenway Park in the bleachers as a kid. I
think I talked about in a pod a couple of episodes ago. They don't really have that many chants, and you talked about just now about it takes generations to build that connection with the club, and there isn't that many chances there. You go across Europe and all that. The Icelandic clapping. There's chants that Man United sing from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and to someone to orchestrate that, I mean, it's kind of educating the fans. It's kind of, I mean, a lot of the soccer fans, I don't want to bash all of them, but they're kind of dweebs. No, I gotta cut that. They are. They might need it. They need educating.
Don't cut that. I know exactly what you mean, but you can't deny the atmospheres in Portland and Seattle aren't better than the ones in, say, New England.
Well, New England's a total different story. They have been shoved to the the pits of shit by their owners. There is no way in 2017 New England Revolution should be playing at Gillette Stadium with quarter of the stadium open and NFL markings on the field. This is
This is an original club too, so there's history there. As far as MLS goes, this is one of the original clubs, and they should have their own stadium.
They should have a small. They should have a small stadium, 25,000 somewhere in the Boston area.
It'd be perfect. It would be great. And I was just thinking, like even New York City FC, both these clubs, Orlando and New York City, came into the league at the same time, same year. And I know that Orlando's been around for longer. They were playing in the USL and whatnot, but you just see the contrast and how much the ownership cares by building this stadium that is so geared towards the fans and just geared to the community. With the Pulse nightclub shooting incident, they have the I think I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 44 rainbow seats for all the victims at the stadium.
Yeah. And it's just they're doing nice things, and they care about the fans, and they're expressing that by building this type of stadium, and it's just really cool to see. And we already said it, but just the whole city seems to be buzzing. I mean, I was just
like vibing down here.
I was just downstairs in the lobby, and I had my New York City FC scarf on, and some old lady from Sacramento was like, "Are you going to the game today?" I'm like, "Yeah," and she goes, "Yeah, it looks great. The stadium looks great. Everyone seems so excited." And she's like, I live in Sacramento, and we're hoping to get an MLS team. And she knew all about it. And I'm like, this lady's like 75, 80 years old, and was like, knows what's going on with the MLS right now.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like wicked cool. And everyone's got jerseys on. Every bar has a flag in the window or outside, and it's just I'm very excited. And I just haven't experienced this as an American soccer fan, as far as a whole city being invested. And I get it; it's the opening weekend of their new stadium. And I'm sure the buzz will drop, but it's just cool to see the amount of support that we've seen up to this point. And I'm sure once we get down by the stadium, it's going to be just buzzing, and there's going to be people everywhere, and I'm looking forward to it very much.
Make sure you take a bunch of video when you're inside and put it up on our Twitter and our Facebook.
We will.
You deleted Snapchat though, so we're on that.
Yeah, I don't have Snapchat.
37.
What are we on Snapchat at Third Touch?
No, we're not. We're just doing it on my Snapchat, and we're just recording the videos, and then we'll edit and merge it together.
Yeah, we're planning on releasing a montage of videos. Sam's been taking video the whole time, and we're gonna hopefully put something together and get it out this week.
But I do I want to talk about the city of Orlando as a whole, and it really is. There's a huge market here for soccer, and even the Uber driver yesterday was like, soccer's just growing so fast in the last 2 years. And Orlando is one of the fastest growing cities in America right now. I think it's in the top 5.
Yeah.
And, Portland has that market. And many other clubs, Seattle has that market. I do love the Portland Timbers. Have you seen the Tetris thing?
No, what's that?
There's like fans, they play the Tetris music and they do the blocks and the fans shift and go down. You haven't seen that? That's really cool.
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, YouTube that. That's really cool.
Put that up on,
That's really cool to see. But yeah, everyone seems really excited for the game. I know I am. We'll be sitting with the away fans, even though I have to admit I'm a Man United fan, and it's really hard to be attached to NYCFC, which Manchester City own 80% of it, and the Yankees own 20% of it. I just can't do it. I'm like, Connor's dad gave me.
You got to pick a different.
Yeah, Connor's
team.
Yeah, Connor's dad gave me a scarf, and I was like, Connor, I really can't. I can't wear this. I can't take it and wave it around and sing chants and cheer goals. I'm just gonna stand there. I'm gonna be a rat in the away section. But we're looking forward to it. I know it's a sellout crowd today. Opening weekend MLS. Portland Timbers sold out.
What's the capacity there? Do you know the capacity?
It's just
Orlando?
over 20,000, I think.
Okay.
Looking out right now, it's around just over 20,000. It's perfect. The setup. You're going to be close to the field. We're in section 108. And
cool.
Capacity is 25,500, so just over 25,000, which is the perfect size. That's the perfect size
right now for MLS teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
The Red Bulls is around that.
Yeah, Red Bulls.
They're lucky.
27, I think.
They're lucky if they get 10,000 fans. Poor Red Bulls.
Really?
They get terrible crowds, man. Terrible crowds.
It's a great stadium, though. I love that stadium.
But yeah, opening weekend in the MLS this weekend. Portland Timbers taking on Minnesota United on Friday night. Ran out comfortable winners 5-1. Minnesota looked like and a Sutton United against Arsenal. They just didn't. It was. Yeah. I mean, how many? Do they have a DP player yet?
No, still no. They don't have a DP player. That might be something they might be waiting for the summer, though. To be fair to them, they might be waiting till the summer transfer market opens and they can bring in a European player or something of that nature. But
so should we calm down with Portland's going to win the MLS Cup? Because they're playing such a low side, probably.
I mean, you can't base it off the first game. It always takes around 3 or 4 games for the MLS season to get going. It's still a little bit scrappy. They don't really have an intense preseason.
And the one thing to say about MLS, which we've seen in the last however many years, is you can start off slow. Like Seattle last year was terrible the first half of the year. And they ended up, finishing 4th. Had a great second half. So, to be fair to Minnesota, it's not like, all hope is lost for the season. But I mentioned it in our preview episode last week that from some what I've seen from some journalists and what I've been hearing is that they could be the worst club in the history of MLS as far as the current team, which is. I don't want to say that. I've yet to see him play. I mean, I watched him play on Friday night, but they have Miguel Ibarra, who's gotten called up to the national team. They have Christian Ramirez, who's been very good. And they brought in Kevin Molino from Orlando, which is, he's one of the best attacking players in the league. So it's not like all hope is lost, but they definitely could have a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, it was a good first game. I think this is a big season for Nagbe. I know we've discussed that. Valeri looked great. He took that shot right to the Johnson at the beginning of the game. Looked like he was going to come off, but yeah, I mean it was a good opening weekend. I didn't catch any other games. We'll run through them real quick.
We did actually. We watched the on the flight. We were able to watch LA Galaxy FC Dallas, a game that FC Dallas won away at LA. So they're off to a good start. But
you want to run through the games real quick?
I can run through just the scores so far. Columbus tied Chicago 1-1. Like we just said, LA lost to FC Dallas 1-2, 0-0. Real Salt Lake, Toronto FC, Colorado beat New England 1-0, 0-0. DC United Sporting Kansas City, kind of an upset here. Houston beat Seattle 2-1, and then San Jose beat Montreal last night, and sort of great goal. And then today we have, obviously, Orlando, New York. After that, Atlanta, Red Bulls at 7:30, and then 9:30 tonight, Vancouver, Philadelphia. And I'm excited to see Atlanta because they've built a very good team, and they're playing. So they're building a stadium that opens up midway through the season. They're playing their games for the first half at Georgia Tech, at Bobby Dodd Stadium, but they're expecting 55,000 tonight. And
I know it's sold out.
It's great. That's cool. And I kind of wish that Atlanta played at home, honestly. Or not Atlanta. Minnesota played their first game at home Friday night, prime time. Like that would have been cool to see. The new team play at home. But I guess at the same time, it's great to have for a prime time game Friday night to see people see Portland's crowd and stuff. So I get that, but would have liked to have seen.
Maybe
Minnesota
the fear there
Stadium.
is the Minnesota Stadium in one of those half indoor, half outdoor stadiums, or is it all outdoor? Do we know about that?
To be honest, I have no idea. So,
that's probably if it's outdoors. That's probably why they don't want to schedule a lot of games.
Yeah, it looks like most of the Northeast teams were playing in California. Like Montreal went to San Jose, New England were away, right? Yeah, New England were away to the Rapids. Do they have a huge advantage, Colorado Rapids, for being in Denver with the altitude and everything?
Definitely. Well, I've heard that part of their game plan is to just grind down teams first 75 minutes, just outrun them at that altitude, and then capitalize in the last 15, 20 minutes, which is a risky strategy. But
a lot of the great marathon runners in the world train up in Colorado, just to have that low oxygen level. So then when they go run their races, they're even in more shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really exciting.
Well said, Mike.
Yeah. Well done, Mike. Do you train up there? You used to be a runner, right?
It's a Mike fact. Yeah. I ran for like 2 years when I was a kid. 2 years, yeah.
How fast were you?
Oh, well, what I do is I tell people, they go, what's your mile time? I go 4:28, but it was really 4:34. But
really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Because I should have ran a 4:28, but this one thing, yeah, but it wasn't that great. Sam ran. Tell him your mile time. You won't even believe this.
It wasn't a mile. It was 1,500 meters.
Oh, it was 1,500.
Yeah, we
right.
talked about this.
No, you told me your mile time was like And I was like, what? And then I don't remember what
it was a county record. It was 4:16. But it was 1,500 meters. Yeah, it was a 1,500 meters.
That's probably that works out. It's like same as mine, like 4:34, 4:35.
Yeah, I think it's like 100 meters less, right? In a mile.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, which would take like 15 to 20 seconds probably when you're tired.
I'm impressed by anyone that can run a mile under 5 minutes. I think at that point you're definitely a fast human being once you can get under the 5.
And that 5K
we'll do that 5K this year, the Workforce Challenge.
All right.
3.5 miles. Anyway.
Enough
of running. Soccer. Looking forward to the game, obviously, that we're going to Orlando today. Atlanta, straight after the game, unless they keep us in the stadium for fucking 3 hours after the game. I'm going in and out as I please. I'm not waiting. Yeah. No, come on.
Well, you're not going to have a scarf on. Just take your scarf off and walk away. Who's going to stop you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predictions for the game? Anyone? Orlando, NYCFC?
I mean, I hope New York City FC wins, but I think Orlando. They really don't have that great of a team, to be honest. Like they had the worst defense in the league last year, as far as goals conceded. So, I think New York City.
I think that's what you were shouting at that old guy. You're like, your defense is trash, and he was like, "Fuck you."
Oh man, but I think 2-1 New York City FC.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have no clue. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
You're gonna watch the game?
I like Patrick Vieira. I'll watch it. And I'm gonna record it on my DVR, and I'm gonna watch it tonight because I got a thing to do. But
Atlanta at home to New York Red Bulls. Prediction?
I'd say 1-0 Atlanta.
Mike?
Atlanta at home. Yeah. With the 55,000 people.
Yeah.
I still think Red Bull pulled this out. Kleishin. I think it's gonna be like 3-1 Red Bull.
Really?
But yeah, I think so. Something like that.
I'm going for a 1-1 Orlando NYCFC, and I'm going for Atlanta to blow New York Red Bulls out of the field here. Like 4-0, 4-1.
It's ambitious prediction from Uncle Sam.
Right.
I'm going for it. Well, a lot better than my team yesterday, Manchester United, who played fucking booty again against Bournemouth at home. 1-0 up, Marcus Rojo scored. And then that incident with
nice penalty take by Ibra.
Yeah, did you see his elbow?
No, I actually didn't see that. I heard all the talk, but I never saw it.
He's going to get banned now. So how the game played out, Man United took a 1-0 lead, and then Mings went really hard on Luke Shaw, which is kind of sad to see. He won the ball, but Luke Shaw's just coming back from that serious leg break a couple of years ago. Came in hard. Andrew Sermon, product of the Southampton Academy, when I was there, picked up a yellow card, and then Ibra got in a kind of I think he fell over Wayne Rooney, and then Mings came over, kind of looked at his head and stamped on it, went down on his head.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Then I think it was probably 2-3 minutes later, a cross comes in, Ibra goes up for the header. Yeah. It was the most obvious elbow I've probably ever seen on a field. His arm came back and then just right into his head.
Yeah, he absolutely clocked him. Clocked him.
Yeah, and then what happened after that? The guy goes.
He stomped on his head on purpose. You could have easily avoided stomping on his head.
Yeah, they both came out and denied it after the game. It's
I know.
Like, this is, how can you deny it? We see it.
I saw the one guy, he was like, yeah, he's physical. We're just physical. Like, they were like excited about it. They were like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
To be fair, for the both incidents, I think that Ibra's was honestly worse because I really have trouble saying a player purposely stomped on a player's head.
I don't think he stomped on him, but I don't think he moved his foot out of the way.
Yes,
that's what
I'll give you that. But Ibra's was blatantly intentional.
Dude, you can kill a man with both challenges.
Yeah.
Like a stamp and an elbow. It's so fucking dangerous. And for Zlatan to do that. So as he went down, Andrew Sermon came over and pushed Ibra and got sent off. And Ibra got nothing.
Oh, yeah. Nothing, yeah. Ibra's going to get a 3-game ban, right? And that's what they said after 100%. The game.
So he's going to miss a couple of Premier League games, and then now he's going to miss that Chelsea FA Cup game at Stamford Bridge. And it gives Wayne Rooney a chance to come in and show him what he got, and Rashford's going to have an opportunity to come in. And Ibra's more good than bad, and it's just going to... I'm kind of excited to see a little bit of a change because it's like, okay, Pogba and Ibra is going to play 90 minutes every week, and it's kind of frustrating when they're not.
When they don't feel like yesterday,
on the same
that was
airway.
Frustrating.
It was Pogba was just dreadful. 2 great chances at the end. He really had a poor game. Great penalty from Bournemouth by King. No goalkeeper in the world would have saved that. But yeah, it looks like both players are going to get a ban. It'll be interesting to see.
I have a theory.
I'm watching the elbow right now. Yeah, that's pretty vicious.
Yeah,
he literally kept reaching till he found his face.
Yeah, it was a perfect elbow though.
Yeah.
I have a Pogba theory that I was talking about with Sam yesterday. I kind of want to share it. So 3-4 years ago when Pogba started getting real big at Juventus, and you saw these YouTube clips and the quick little vines of his skill and his goals. I mean, he scored some great goals, but regardless, his skill. And I was telling my friends, I'm like, yo, Pogba is not that great. And the reason everyone thinks he's so great is because the reality is no one watches Serie A. I mean, people watch Serie A. Yeah. I'm not going to say no one watches it, but the average soccer fan even isn't necessarily a big Serie A guy. So all you see is the Vine and the YouTube clip. And if you watch him play, he'll have moments of outrageous skill. Like, outrageous. Yeah. But then for the rest of the game, he plays average at best. And I think that now that people are actually able to watch him week in, week out, maybe people are starting to see that. And I don't want to say that Pogba's not going to be a great midfielder, because I think he is a very talented player. But I think that he's been kind of exposed.
So he kind of like conned the whole soccer industry by using social media to make him seem better than he actually was.
That's not his fault.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but it's our fault.
I mean, he only reached like the peaks in Serie A. Like, he's never won a Champions League, and like, when has he really shown, like, in his start of his career, that he was this amazing player scoring clutch goals week in, week out? He's only, how many goals did he score in his last season at Juventus? I think 14. As a midfielder,
yeah, I think it's more about just how his play and also his look. He's 6'3", he's tall. He's it's like a.
Yeah. Plus, scouts actually. I mean, it's Paul Pogba, so there's actually scouts you don't really have to scout Paul Pogba, but club scouts actually use YouTube to find players. I know the MLS have.
Pogba scored 10 goals in his last season at Juventus in all competitions.
YouTube, the highlights we're all influenced by him. Kids right now, there's 16-year-olds filming all their basketball highlights, editing them all up, and then sending them out to colleges. And then the colleges will talk to him, and then the kid goes from being, he should have been at this level, and now he's convinced because of his great highlights that should be D1 maybe when he couldn't be.
It happened with Neymar too, because I remember seeing on Twitter, and no one has seen the Brazilian league, and all you have is YouTube. So is he a YouTube sensation, or is he a world-class talent? And he's obviously proven that he's a legitimate world-class player.
Which is really hard for like the defensive midfielder. Like Paul Scholes' YouTube clips are just like, what? But he's like one of the most important players for like a 10-year period that is going to help your team win.
Yeah, I don't think there's a mashup of Paul Scholes on YouTube. I mean, there's some of his outstanding goals and bad fouls, but over his overall play is.
Yeah, but his play, it's
consistent.
Just, exactly. But
all right.
Okay, so we're not gonna break into all the games this weekend, but I'm just gonna read out the scores from this past week. Liverpool 3-1 over my beloved Arsenal. I was absolutely dejected at the airport yesterday.
CC.
Crystal Palace gets a big win, second win in a row, 2-0 over West Brom.
That's a big win.
Big win. Southampton in a thriller kinda over Watford 4-3.
Oh, I want to talk about Southampton real quick. I know the League Cup last week, and they played a great game against Man United. Best player in the Premier League right now, Nathan Redmond, future England captain. I think he is the English version of Schürrle, and I think he's
give us a little bit of give us a bio. Give us a bio. What do you
Nathan Redmond? He played for Norwich last season. He was at Norwich for 2-3 seasons. I don't know what academy he came from. And Southampton picked him up. But
he came up with Birmingham City, got sold to Norwich, and then was a good player for them, no doubt. But he's still so young. He's
so fucking good.
He's currently 20. He's currently 22, so he's just leaving the under-21 team. And the League Cup final.
I fucking love.
He was
Nathan
amazing.
Redmond.
He was absolutely amazing. And I don't think he's the best player in the league, but he is a legitimately talented player.
Yeah.
position?
He hasn't had an England call up. He's kind of like a winger
forward.
Yeah.
He can drop in, be creative, pull some strings real quick. He's pretty an all around talented player.
He's pretty cool.
What I like as well with Southampton, they can actually take good corners. James Ward-Prowse, growing up in the 90s and seeing professional footballers not being able to take corners when I can take a pretty fucking good corner is one of the most fun. Even Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, they couldn't really take corners. And seeing James Ward-Prowse just consistently put in a good corner.
Good corner. Yeah.
I mean, Mourinho hates corners, but that's Man United. Every Man United corner is short.
Just to keep going through the scores. Swansea continues their upswing.
Yeah. Ouch.
Bob Bradley's grave gets a little deeper each week. 3-2 over Burnley. So they're probably going to be good, man. They're probably, if they keep this up, should be safe. Stoke 2-0 over Middlesbrough. Jeff Cameron is back. Shout out to Uncle Jeff. We love you.
Arnautovic, 2 goals there, right?
Nice tats.
I think it was Arnautovic. He's great.
Yep, Arnautovic brace. Moving on. Leicester continue their good run of form. 3-1 over Hull. Mm-hmm. That was a very big game, too.
Yeah,
Bottom of the table clash. Very
2 wins
big
on
game.
the bounce right now.
And then we said Man U, a 1-1 with Bournemouth. Spurs, big win today. 3-2 over Everton. Lukaku scored. We watched that this morning when we were waking up. Lukaku scored a great goal. He's just so good. Harry Kane brace.
Harry Kane, technically, I think, could be the best number 9 England has ever seen. Still 23. I think he's going to peak in like 3 years. Some of his shooting ability is crazy. The way he hits the ball and drives that ball in the bottom corner is unlike any number 9 I've seen for a very long time. It's like Shearer-esque back in the day. He is fast, but he's just such an old-fashioned centre forward, and he's so exciting to see. And seeing him and Dele Alli work together is crazy. Apparently, he stays on the training ground after
Kane does.
Harry Kane. They have to drag him off, and Pochettino says it's bad for you to just keep there shooting for hours. Apparently, he just works on it, but it's obviously paying off. Harry Kane and Brace could have had a hat trick. Dele Alli with the third goal, and Everton, good team. It was an exciting second half.
But and then currently, City's up on Sunderland 2-0. We're recording mid-match.
He's not letting me. We're not allowed to watch it.
Yeah, no distractions.
You can't have a distraction. I had it on earlier,
but yeah. So that wraps up the Premier League for this weekend. Tomorrow, West Ham, Chelsea, little London derby there. But yeah, so pretty good weekend in the Premier League, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about the MLS, we've talked about the Premier League, and now we're going to switch genders. We're going to go on to the She Believes Cup 2017, the second tournament in the She Believes Cup. Have you been catching the games, Mike?
Well, you sent it to me. No, I haven't watched any of the games. But I like it. What is it? She Believes. I don't know.
Okay, so I tried to do a bit of quick research on it. So there was a competition called the Algarve Cup, which is a tournament in Portugal, which has happened for a number of years. The top international teams in the world, and they compete there, which is actually going on at the same time. So the She Believes Cup was started last year, and it's the top 4 ranked national and international teams. So
that's Germany, USA, England, and France. Japan. Is that right?
France.
Okay.
France.
All right.
First game was Wednesday. USA 1-0 over Germany. And England lost out to a last-minute goal against France, 2-1. And there was a game. England played at a sellout Red Bull Stadium yesterday.
Oh wow!
Ellen, what's her name? Scored. I actually went nuts. We were watching it on the laptop. I celebrated. It was great.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the girl's name, but
Ellen White.
Well, this other girl from England hit a great strike in the 89th minute, hit the post. It was like a sick volley from outside the box.
I remember when I got Sam when he first time he ever cheered for women's soccer was we were 2011 World Cup, that game against Brazil that went into
we
were in Virginia,
time. Right? We were in Virginia, and I made you get up to go. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game, and the whole place, bit by bit, got into the game. That was just riveting. I mean, say what you want about women's soccer, it's slower, whatever, but that was like the best.
Yeah, that was
like just drama.
It was a good game too. Was the even though the United States lost, that World Cup final against Japan was a pretty amazing game that went to penalties.
So apparently, that's the first time England has beaten the USA in America. It might be the fact that Hope Solo doesn't play for them anymore. It might be the fact that USA are rebuilding their team. You know, they've lost a few players recently through retirement and controversial circumstances. I'm not a fan of the name. I'm not a fan of the She Believes Cup. It's about stories of women around the world, and they're kind of connecting it to raise awareness of gender equality. A little bit of a feminist statement, I believe. You know, he believes. But no other... what would it be if there was a He Believes Cup? You know?
Well, obviously there's not going to do that because every day is he whatever believes.
He believes every single day.
That's right. I believe myself all the time.
I mean, it's been well publicized that the women weren't getting equal pay to the men national team through the federation.
That's 100%.
Yeah, they need that.
They did. Yes. They should have been getting. They sell out way more games than the men do. They always are at capacity. Now I don't know. Like every time we watch the men's play, they'll always be playing like Turkey in some stadium. It'll be 11,000 people, and it's kind of the women are always, like I said, to capacity. They should get 100%, the same pay, as long as they're bringing in the same revenue. I don't know all the numbers, but if they're the numbers I looked at, they did seem like pretty incredible in disparity. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously equal pay is a definite must, but this is a tournament that the U.S. Federation put together, and I kind of want to talk to you about this. In the last couple of years, with some of the controversial players that have played, like Hope Solo beating up her husband,
Abby Wambach DUI,
yeah, coke, and all that shit.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask you guys about with the U.S. Federation, I believe, has created this tournament, and do you think they're making a statement with this title in the tournament?
Yeah, I think they're definitely trying to make a statement. I mean, you look at the current climate of just the way society is today, and I don't want to say anything wrong here, but you
already did, Connor. Get him out of here.
The reality is it's a great tournament. You have the top 4 teams in the world. United States is hosting it. They have the ability to make a lot of money off this tournament. I feel like it's a pretty cool tournament. Imagine every year the top 4 men's team do a tournament. It would be everyone would watch. It'd be cool. But I think that they are making a statement. They want to empower women without paying them the same, which is kind of ironic. And I think it's a cool tournament, but there is some politicalness to this without a doubt. And I am 100% for the women being paid equally and all that, but there's
I mean, using the word she, it does seem a little bit like, oh wow, this is pretty opportunistic that it's called She Believes, everything that's going on, anti-Trump stuff and the parades and women feeling like the world's always been against them and all this, and then now it does seem a little manipulative to get more attention to it,
Yeah, I'm looking at the title of the tournament right now. The word she is like in bold, and then the word believes, is in, regular font, and then the word cup is in red in regular font. Yeah. Ties in with
but let's be honest, who's really going to go to the game? Mostly it's dads and moms taking their daughter. I mean, the games are usually a lot of young girls going to it, and they root on their heroes and all that.
Okay, so I want to tie it in now with the US Federation coming out and putting into effect on February 9th that all players have to stand for the national anthem. I know there was an issue with, obviously, Colin Kaepernick in the NFL, and Megan Rapinoe did it to stand for equality amongst sexual preferences and women, obviously.
And she was also a part of her was also agreeing with what Kaepernick was standing for, which was
not standing for.
Well, yeah, not standing for.
But it's really interesting. What are your thoughts about this, Mike?
What they're forcing them to stand for the national anthem?
Yeah, so it went into effect February 9th, but it was revealed yesterday.
Oh wow! About goddamn time. No, I think it's I don't think they should have to stand. That's not American to have to stand. You should be able to do what you want to do. To stand for that. I mean, it's not fun to watch. It's not exciting if you see all the players not stand because it's just weird. But they have every right not to. I would say, shouldn't they have the right?
I mean, but aren't they getting paid by the federation? So it's kind of a job for them, and their bosses are telling them kind of what to do. Really.
That doesn't make it any better though. It doesn't make it any better that they're being paid. I mean, obviously they're getting paid, but it doesn't make it any better that that's not a reason to make them stand. And my opinion is that, whether I agree with why they're standing or not, or if they're standing or not standing, players have a right to express themselves and how they feel. And the reality is freedom of speech and freedom of expression isn't just for speech you agree with. So I think it's kind of a slippery slope, and it's interesting to see U.S. soccer enforce this at this point because you have something to say, or would you?
No, carry on.
Okay. Because I just wonder if other governing bodies or leagues or organizations will do this. Because my thing is that soccer seems to be the most progressive sport when it comes to equality, just because you have so many nationalities. It seems to be the most inclusive. Like you see, every MLS game, there's a rainbow flag in the stands, which is, it's great, whatever. But it's interesting to see soccer being the first. Okay, so it's interesting. we just had a little moment on the Third Touch podcast, but no, it's interesting to see soccer being the first sports in America to enforce this, because they usually are the most inclusive to whatever. And
I don't think it's uninclusive. It's just weird to force it. But then Sam makes a good point about if this is part of it. You're selling entertainment, and it's like they're doing a dance move, and you're like, I don't agree with that dance move, and you have to move. You have to with everybody else.
I mean,
it's weird, but to me it seems un-American to force someone to stand for a national anthem. It's almost like forcing them to take part in a religious ceremony they don't agree with. It's under that same guise, wouldn't it be? You shouldn't have to.
And the thing is, it's interesting that it's not even on the U.S. Soccer's website. I'm literally on the website right now, and it's not on their
Connor, next
website.
time you're working for Sam and he tells you to go change a keg, you'd be like, yeah, it's not part of my religion. It's against my religion to change a keg, so I'm not going to.
But they issued a statement, but it's not even on their own website. It's other media outlets that are reporting it. So it's kind of interesting that they wouldn't even put that on their own site.
I mean, I think this has definitely stemmed from Megan Rapinoe, what she did last year for the Washington Spirit. So this was enforced by the U.S. Soccer Board of Directors, and when Megan Rapinoe did knee for the Washington Spirit, the next game they played the national anthem before the players came out, so there wasn't that visual protest. So the response when Megan Rapinoe did it from the U.S. Soccer Board of Directors said, we have an expectation that our players and coaches will stand and honor the flag while the national anthem is playing. That happened then, and it's obviously taken this amount of time to word it, structure it right, and kind of make that statement. So a good 8-9 months to kind of get their point across and kind of tell the players this is what we expect when you're wearing our product. Yeah, and you can tie it in with it. It's a very sensitive subject, and I'm all for freedom in America. One of the freest countries in the world. There's a lot of freedom here, and to express your right to do certain things, human beings should be able to do that regardless where you're born.
They would argue that their job is to play soccer well, and then if they don't have a job.
Correct.
So it's all about playing soccer. So therefore, it is. Yeah, I mean, legally, the MLS, if they're challenged on this, or U.S. Federation, if they're challenged on this, they would lose, I believe. I mean, you do not have to stand for the national anthem if you don't want to.
Currently, the penalty, if you don't stand, is unclear. So, this still won't stop people from standing or anything.
Just the ref comes over, gives a straight red card.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Someone from the federation, someone from the federation's gonna come down and tap them on the shoulder and tell them to stand up during the national anthem. It's not gonna happen, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of fine, or maybe a one match, a match ban of some sort if they don't. But we'll see what happens. But it's kind of a crazy thing to.
Player leans down to tie his shoe during the national anthem. What's this guy doing? Get him out of here.
Yeah, Americans love controversy. They love it. Even if there isn't anything in the news, ESPN, obviously the E stands for entertainment. It's just they'll just make up a story.
No, it doesn't. Well,
ESPN.
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
It's Eastern.
What?
No,
ESPN? Entertainment. Look it up, son. That's what it means.
Yeah, it should just be fake news.
Yeah, there was something.
Right. Entertainment and sports programming networks.
They have to make up stories. There was, I think, I was watching one program during the day, and it was about LeBron James and about why he wasn't giving enough minutes or something. He might have been injured. It was like, is LeBron James respecting these lower teams? Of course he is. But they just wanted to discuss that because there was nothing else.
ESPN is an absolute joke. ESPN is an absolute joke at this point.
I remember watching ESPN in the 80s when I was a little kid, and in the 90s, and during the day there was nothing. There were old NFL highlights. There used to be Australian Leagues football was on, just bizarre stuff that nobody watched. Then Disney bought ESPN, and all of a sudden they started doing SportsCenter, not an 8 a.m. show, but all the way to 12, and repeating it, and all these talk shows. They constantly need content, so they just create. They'll buy a league. They run the league, like the MLS too. You could say they run it for the, they have a television contract, or whoever has a television contract, and then you'll make up stories and controversies to have people then watch the games.
Yeah, you have to be an asshole to work for ESPN. I think. Like, you have to be an asshole. I think.
I don't know. I don't want to go that far, but I know. But like the people way above what are they? The height? The guys that are running the ESPN, the
CEOs,
the CEOs and stuff. I don't. What do you call it? The guys? The men and women probably that are up there. Yeah, there does seem to be like they don't. I mean, they're just creating shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
My whole thing with ESPN now is just it's with this whole current Trump cycle situation, whatever you want to call it, they've gotten so political now, and it's so far left leaning. And we don't really get into politics on here, but it's so blatant. And I know Ryan Russillo came out, nationally syndicated radio host, has a show with his radio show was broadcasted on one of the networks. I think it's ESPN News or whatever, but he literally trashed everyone else at ESPN. He was like, "We are a sports network," and they came out and spoke out against. He's like, "I'm not saying what my political views are, but we are not we are not even covering sports anymore. Mm-hmm. This is just all you guys do is just bash Republicans and make your political views so clear." And I am so tired of ESPN. I don't even watch it anymore because of it's like TMZ. There's not even sports. They talk about the dumbest stuff, and they just create news for no reason.
Yeah.
And
it's not because sports is not that. People that come listen to our podcast are into soccer. They want an in-depth talk and they want to have fun and want to listen to it. But like ESPN won't even go that deep because they don't want to alienate all the other people watching. So like even like NFL Live or NBA Live, all like the Baseball Tonight, like those shows get some of the lowest ratings they know because they're too specific. They know what keeps eyeballs is like LeBron. Is his hairline? What's up with his hairline, yo?
Yeah.
I think it's starting
hair surgery.
I think it's starting to turn though, honestly, because big personalities are starting to leave ESPN. And if you watch Fox Sports 1 and their similar SportsCenter show, it is how SportsCenter used to be: funny hosts and highlights, and that's it. And it's great. And people are definitely starting to get tired of ESPN. And the whole political thing. I remember just doing some personal research on this. The majority of people that watch sports in general are more right-leaning and more conservative in general. And soccer actually is the most liberally supported sport as far as the spectrum, I guess. And for ESPN to be doing this constant left promotion, if you want to call it, or they're alienating the majority of the reality is the majority of their watchers are probably lean farther right. So
well, I mean, I know what you're saying. That kind of makes sense because sport is so cut and dry, and like the basis of conservatism or republicanism, really like Americanism, is fairness, and everybody has a fair shot, and their sports has times, and you get a goal, you don't. And so it's attractive to that type of personality. But who the hell? I mean, whatever. Politically now, I just don't trust like any side of anybody in power. Kind of. I mean, we don't really get into that, like I said. But it's it is weird that like everything I turn to, you can't escape it. Like I'm watching sports because I want to just like relax and I don't want to be told how to believe about things. Like I just want to enjoy a sport.
She believes.
She does believe.
But yeah, big win for England yesterday, and I was legitimately excited about when they scored that goal.
He was.
Yeah,
he was jumping up and down in the hotel room.
Yeah, might have been a little bit inebriated, but I was excited. But I know Pulisic had a big day yesterday for Borussia Dortmund.
All right, change some topics. Cool. Pulisic, in the Pulisic report, Marco Reus went down with an injury around 38th minute, and Pulisic came out, got in the game a little bit, halftime. The second half, I'll say this, probably his best half of football, maybe since he's been playing professionally, I thought. Just every time he got the ball, he attacked. Every time he looked the most dominant player from that point on, and he started attacks. He also got a great goal. You guys saw the goal?
Yeah,
I just saw the goal. What was it? 6-2 against Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah, 6-2 versus Bayern Leverkusen. Yeah.
Who fired their manager after the match?
Oh, they did fire that guy? He looked like he's
How dare you let an American score against us? You're gone.
He was sitting down.
They're having a real rough season. They're down in, I think they were in 9th place going into the game. But what impressed me the most about the Pulisic goal was he started that whole move. And his little flick pass, that little chip pass under pressure in the midfield that got it going was like a really, really technical skill. And he started that and then orchestrated through the midfield and had a very nice finish running into the box. Like a late run in the box, like a Gerrard-esque. Gerrard-esque, Lampard-esque run in the box and a great finish to the far post. It was very good goal, and it was cool to see him pulling the strings more or less.
He probably could have gotten another one too, and then he also set up at the end there they were killing him, so he had a nice assist there at the end to Guerrero. What's his name?
Guerrero.
Yeah, thank you. And really good guy. And that dude's sick. Yeah, left back. No, but I thought. I was watching the game yesterday. I even showed my cousin when I was watching the game, and I was thinking, I don't think we've ever had an American this good at this age, ever. I think he's better than Donovan was.
You got to remember he's still 19, and he is getting
18.
18. He's getting significant minutes for Borussia Dortmund. I know Marco Reus went down with a hamstring injury. It looks like, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. Do you think he's gonna start more games?
This is his Wally Pip moment right here. Marco Reus goes down, and then Lou Gehrig comes in.
Who's that? Who'd you say?
All right. Well, you don't know that story, Sam?
No.
Can you tell us, Mike?
Pip,
Who's Wally
1925
Pip?
Yankees.
I have no idea.
The Yankees. All right. There was a second. There's a second baseman for the Yankees in the 20s who was like an all-star every year. Wally Pip. He was a great player, dude. You don't heard that? Every fucking coach I've ever had has told me this story at every basketball camp.
I know who Wally Pip is, but I've never been told about it.
They're like, don't work hard, don't play
Mike.
golly. Okay, so Wally Pip was this all-star second baseman for the Yankees in the 20s, and then he went down with an injury in 1925, and his replacement was a rookie guy named Lou Gehrig, who ended up becoming one of the best players of all time. But Lou Gehrig started the next day, and then set the record for the most consecutive games started, 2,180 or 30 something. And Wally Pip, I don't think he ever played significant time ever again. He got really angry and all pissed off about it, and he never really became anything again.
So you're telling me Christian Pulisic is going to take second baseman for the Yankees, and then never look back? You think he's going to take? You think he's going to just take Marco Reus's place, and he's going to be a better player than Marco Reus? I mean, he has an opportunity to show more what he has, and Marco Reus looks like he's going to be out for at least maybe between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on that tear. But you still got to remember the kid's only 18 years old, and he's playing at one of the biggest clubs in Europe.
All I'm saying is I watched Royce walk off. I watched how Pulisic came on, and I'm like, I was like, this could be a moment. I want to see Pulisic and Dembele play together. I just thought I thought about Wally Pip, and I don't know if there's any other examples of it out there in European football of a big name going down, another guy coming up and shining more.
I mean, I don't think that. I mean, Royce has been very injury prone throughout his whole career. Yeah. But I mean, it's not. Royce is a better player than Pulisic at this point it means more to Dortmund than Pulisic. So I don't think it's quite on that scale.
That's what they said in 1925.
You're right. Yo,
actually, I remember Man United signed a guy, a striker from Leeds United called Alan Smith. Came over to United, played a few games. Ferguson loved him. Got injured, and then he came back, and Ferguson molded him into a centre midfielder and put in a ton of good performances. Unfortunately, John Anrisa took a free kick for Liverpool. Alan Smith came out to block it. Horrific leg break at Anfield. Never recovered from that. And Michael Carrick stapled that position from then on out.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it does. Yeah, of course it happens.
You know, Drew Bledsoe was a great quarterback for the Patriots. Went down with an injury. Tom Brady started his first game and never looked back. And then they won the Super Bowl that year. I don't think that's that. If you actually look at the Borussia Dortmund, Pulisic and Royce aren't really competing for the same position.
Yeah, but, two things that you just said with the players, with those sports, it's very position specific, you know. I mean, Marco Royce can play anywhere across that midfield, probably an attacking midfielder. He has multiple options. A second baseman, he could play third baseman. I've seen first and third basemen switch out. But quarterback, what, you can see Tom Brady, linebacker? No, that's his only position, you know. It's his only choice. He's not going to go, hey, you know, Tom, the quarterback's back and healthy now. You're running back. That's just not going to happen. But I think every time Pulisic gets that opportunity to play in minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, then there's a little bit of pressure on him to impress the manager. Of course there is.
And I'll say this: I'm so impressed by how well he plays, even if he gets 9 minutes. How aggressive he is, and how confident he is at such a young age. I've never seen it of an American player playing in Europe. The only confident player I saw like this was Dempsey back 2010, 2011. But I don't think Dempsey was half as talented as Pulisic is.
Did you guys hear about Mario Götze this week? What happened? What's going on with him? Kind of sad.
What was that? Metabolic?
Metabolic. He's been diagnosed with a rare metabolic disorder disease, which is they're thinking has been the root of his terrible string of injuries he's had, and it really kind of puts his future in doubt as a player because it just might mean he continues to get injured more. Kind of crazy. He's such a young, talented player, wins the World Cup for his country, and now his career is in serious. I mean, maybe not serious doubt, but it's just he's going to probably continue to get injured with this disease. So hopefully they can find a treatment.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Actually, when they flashed that up yesterday, I was like, I didn't understand what they were saying. I was like, all right, metabolic, okay. I was like, what is he? He's out of shape. I didn't understand. What is it actually? Do we know what explanation wise to the layman like myself?
I don't know, but it's gonna affect him, pretty severely. It says it can be a wide span. It's a wide range of possible conditions. But they believe that it's been the root of his, injuries. Another thing I wanted to bring up real quick. I know we're wrapping it up, but I meant to bring it up during the USA making players take a stand thing. It's kind of related, kind of not. But did you hear that Liverpool banned the Sun newspaper from?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. I know, for our listeners,
they banned that. Explain it. They banned it from Anfield.
In the city of Liverpool, you can't buy the Sun newspaper because they wrote false reports from the Hillsborough disaster.
Oh, years ago.
Yes, but the club has just this past week banned them from Anfield.
No, I think it's been in the city of Liverpool for a couple of years now.
No, it's just story just came out this week.
Right.
Because the reporters were still allowed there to cover the team.
The actual reporters. They've totally banned them from the stadium. That's crazy.
Yeah, right here, Liverpool, February 10th. So it actually was a couple of weeks ago. But Liverpool banned journalists over Hillsborough coverage. It's kind of crazy. That's like censoring the media.
Wait, isn't the Sun, Sam? Isn't the Sun like a garbage kind of?
It's It's Rupert Murdoch newspaper, and News of the World was the big one, which got done for all the phone hacking.
That was Piers Morgan, right, with the phone hacking.
No, it was
all Murdoch too.
Well, it was all Rupert Murdoch. It was News of the World. It's like it's a Sunday edition of the Sun, but it's called News of the World. And that was a great newspaper. Like Sunday, like the sports section, the pullout was so cool.
Yeah.
But they started tapping up all these famous people, and there's a lot of controversy, and they just he pulled the plug on that newspaper. But the Sun newspaper, it's Yeah, it's a trash newspaper. On page 3, though, there's a naked chick every day. So. Are
you serious?
Well, it's just topless.
Like topless?
Topless.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that too. He's like, yeah, I grew up with this all the time. I'm like, what?
Page 3, go.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of lit. That's lit. That's the culture. naked girls are the culture for sure.
All right, okay, we got to wrap this up, but
we have to get down to the stadium.
Yeah, we got to get down to the stadium. We got to mingle with the fans. Wish you were here, Mike. I miss you.
Now wait, are you guys gonna come back after and do a little game reflection?
We're waiting on Miles Joseph, actually, who's the assistant coach for Orlando FC. I've been texting him this week. He's a native from Clifton Park. Went to Shen, played for the Metro Stars. Couple of caps for the national team. Follows Jason Kreis around. Started a premier club up in Clifton Park that I used to coach at. Went to Real Salt Lake. Got a job there with Jason Kreis because he played with him. Then they went to NYCFC for a year. Claudio Reyna booted him out.
So you're gonna force him to hang out with you guys today? While you?
Well, we might be meeting up with him. We might be meeting up with him after the game at a undisclosed location for maybe a drink or two.
So hopefully I'm going to talk about the podcast and see if he can give us some of his time in an episode down the line. But if we don't do that, I mean, we're not planning to drink that much today because.
Who knows? Maybe we will do a post-game recap real quick. If we don't, we don't.
Spent $1,000 yesterday, Mike, on booze.
Jeez.
Dude, we walked into the first bar and bought anyone with any shade of blue. They got a shot, handed to them, delivered.
They got more than one. They got 2.
Yeah, we bought like 2 rounds. Yeah. I think I paid for a round and Sam paid for a round. But yeah, we were a hit. We were talking to everyone. They loved us.
Yeah. So I mean, this is going to go live in 5 minutes because we gotta publish this for you guys out there. But we're really looking forward to the game. Thanks, Mike, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you. This has been by far our broiest podcast to date, I'd say.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, what up,
dog.
Yeah, get them shots, bro.
All right. But yeah. Thanks for everyone for listening. Always tweet us at the Third Touch. New York City FC followed me and liked one of my tweets yesterday, which I was kind of pumped about. Yeah, we tweeted a picture of me and Sam at the airport with drinks in our hand, our scarves, and they liked it and followed Sam back and tweeted us back, which was pretty cool. Nice. Yeah, but nice. We'll be back next week. We'll be back next Sunday, I believe, if we're not back later this night with a quick recap from me and Sam. But enjoy your week, everybody. Yeah, enjoy the MLS. Looking forward to the game. Go NYCFC, I guess. All right. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. Peace. The big stuff. All right. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna get my love.